welcome. Feel free to get settled in, and if at any point you need to grab anything or get up use the restroom, grab some water, please feel free and comfortable here. My name is Devin Athey. I was born and raised in Fort Collins, spent some time in Durango doing my undergrad in humanities, and went off to the Bay Area for about 10 years, during which time got a master's degree in something called integrative health, which exposed me to a lot of different ways of healthy living, alternative health and healing modalities, and definitely different meditation practices and movement practices. After moving back to Colorado, I got my yoga certification. I've been sort of intermittently teaching yoga, but also that's when I really started getting into facilitating these types of workshops, specifically focusing on guided visualizations and using visualizations as a tool for sort of tuning in to what we are wanting and what we're looking for. I've also done a handful of workshops on vision boards, creating vision boards, so not only just the meditation piece, but sort of the creation piece of sort of what do you see in your mind's eye. So that's a little bit about me. I like to start off these classes or get-togethers by speaking a little bit to sort of the word and concept of meditation. Oftentimes it can be a bit of a daunting or just overwhelming idea, the idea of meditation, a meditation practice. I find that a lot of people have maybe had the experience where they have given meditation a try once or twice, and their experience has been such that they sit down and they're in the right posture and all, they've got a perfect moment to kind of get away, and they're going to do it, they're going to try it. And then they sit down and are just really overwhelmed with the movement of the mind. Feel like they can barely make it even a full second without there being some thoughts and movement in their mind, starting to trail off into what they need to do for the rest of the day, or I'm hungry, this hurts, I can't do this, why am I thinking so much, I'm thinking too much, I'm not good at this, right? And there's just this mental activity that sort of leaves, can leave a bad taste in people's mouths in regards to what meditation can be. So I think it's just really important to acknowledge that maybe we've had that type of experience. Maybe we haven't. Maybe we've had really blissful experiences where we are able to kind of shut down and be still. And there's been a resonance with that. And, the important thing I like to convey is that both experiences are valid and both experiences are practicing meditation. So, meditation is not... The practice of meditation is not just sitting down in some quiet environment, nothing's going on around you. The setting is completely perfect. There's incense and a candle burning, and you close your eyes and your body is completely comfortable and you're totally relaxed and you immediately just go into a state of peaceful bliss. Right? So the meditation is it is the chaos, but what it is it's the observation piece. It's the observation of what's going on, what's transpiring when you do close your eyes and go inward, and the intention to maybe continually redirect, right? So it's the noticing, I've shifted, got it, coming back. I've shifted, got it, coming back, right? And the more you do that, the easier it gets, right? So I just want to sort of broaden sort of maybe the understanding around what meditation is, and plug in the word mindfulness. So mindfulness can be a little less daunting of a concept. This mindfulness is really just paying attention and being intentional, right? And so that's what we want to do when we're sitting down to have some sort of exploratory space within our inner world and our mind and our being. We really just want to be curious and have intention, right? And just kind of allow for whatever is there to be there, and know that whatever is there is okay. So what we're going to be doing today is not your typical meditation, right? So it's going to be a guided visualization, right? So oftentimes a typical meditation is just sitting down, focusing, let's say, on the breath is a pretty common focal point. And, there might be some gentle guiding, but a lot of it is silent. And then, the reminder, come back to the breath, come back to the breath. So just sort of as I was describing before, you're sitting, you're observing, and you're drawing it back to the focal piece. There are quite a few things that I really love about guided visualization. First of all, I think it's easier, right? So it's an easier tool to tune in to ourselves. And it's easier than in the sense that sometimes, let's say, watching a movie can be a little bit easier to focus on the act of watching the movie than sitting in stillness and silence and watching the acts, the sort of chaos that comes up during stillness and silence. So with a visualization, we're creating this storyscape, we're creating this reality, this imagery, and navigating our way through it. And so it can be a little bit easier to stay tuned in. And it's really calling upon the imagination, creativity in the imagination to sort of to really show up, because even though it's being guided verbally, what's happening in the imagery, what it looks like, what it feels like, what's going on for the inner sensations for one person is going to be totally different than what's happening for another person. So it has this really unique quality of individual imagination. And imagination is something that we've really lost. We really lose. People just tends to be a natural progression that as we move out of childhood, there's sort of this restriction around using imagination. And this is a great opportunity to recall that back up. So, really wanting to put out the invitation to allow that creativity to really flow for you. And another piece about the guided visualization piece is that, since we are kind of creating this movie, it becomes something that you can return to, revisit, recall, right? So a week after we do this visualization, chances are, when you reflect on it, you'll be able to really just go kind of straight back into your mind's eye of like, that's what that looked like, and that's what happened in that part of the meditation, and then I saw this, right? So you can kind of replay, and then further, you can kind of, revisit, whether that be, just in a solo meditation with yourself. Maybe a week from now you're wanting to sit back down and sort of maybe ask some new questions, ask some different questions, go off in a way that we didn't go a direction we didn't go in today. That landscape has already been created for you, and it never goes away. So you can kind of, this inner landscape, it gets created, and you can revisit it and expand and expound on that world. So I like to incorporate nature into these guided meditations. Nature to me is such a metaphorical reality. We can look at something as simple as the 4 seasons, which I know don't exist in all places in the world, but we do have them here, right? And so there's these distinct qualities happening in nature, and we can really not only just notice how that affects our human experience, but also utilize what's happening around us in an intentional way, right? So summer is obviously has very different qualities than summer, right? So in winter, it's getting dark at like 5. It's, things are cold. You're wanting to be inside of your house and kind of protected. You're not wanting to attend as many social events. You're a little bit sleepier, more low energy, and just kind of have more of a hunkered in kind of a quality, right? That's reflective of being, more introverted and sort of less outward, right? So we look at summer, and these qualities of summer are such that, right, there's full illumination, right? We're getting sunlight for so many hours, starting 4 or 5 a.m. and going until like 9 p.m. at the peak of it, right? There's a lot of light, there's a lot of illumination, there's a lot of brightness. The sun is shining down. That's bringing heat. It's bringing heat to our skin, and it's giving the plants and the flowers what they need to really bloom. So summer is a time of full blossom, right? And this is programmed into plants, programmed into nature, right? Perennial plants, they just know they bloom in the spring, and in the summer they're just living their fullest version of themselves. And that's what we want to kind of tune into today in the meditation and in summer in general, is this quality of living our fullest version of ourselves, right? This is not a time when we're diving deep into our roots and doing shadow work and being sort of closed in, hibernating. This is us at our most open, our greatest capacity, right? We're reaching out, like the sun's rays are coming out. We're reaching out. We're doing a little bit of this. We're engaging in this. We're showing up for classes. We're calling friends. We're going out to eat. These things. It's a very outward, very open, right? And we get to really see ourselves. Others really get to see us. So we're hoping to capitalize on that a little bit, and hopefully this summer themed guided meditation will provide you with an opportunity to create this sort of sunny summer inner landscape and tune into some of these qualities of illumination by way of creating a visual landscape and tuning into some of the elements, particularly the sun, to kind of see, to sort of explore and see like what wants to be illuminated right now. How can I shine brightest? So here shortly we'll move into the meditation. The first thing I like to say when starting any guided meditation is that this is your experience. So it's just a really open invitation to let yourself allow yourself to go wherever and experience whatever. Be gentle with yourself if you sort of fall off the tracks of being guided and get distracted. As I mentioned, that's part of it. That's absolutely part of it, and it's normal and it's inevitable. So when that happens, just sort of greet it with a sort of a gentle smile, and just I fell off the track. Let's kind of tune back into the storyline that I'm exploring right now, and even within that, if I'm leading us somewhere, and you sort of get an inner ping to sort of explore in a different way or show up in a different way in your internal experience, by all means, do what feels organic for you. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. We will take a moment to relax your body, finding a comfortable seated position. I like to have a little prop underneath me, so I'm sitting on a bit of a cushion. I like to have my legs crossed. And this is about you finding a comfortable position for you. So just settling in, maybe your hands can be in your lap, on your knees. And just make any adjustments you need to increase your comfort. And we'll begin by focusing in on the breath, using the breath as a tool to release any tension that we may be holding in our bodies. So starting to focus in on the breath as it is. And then we'll take some conscious breaths together. So starting with a nice deep inhale, filling your lungs, feeling the air go all the way down into your abdomen, holding, and then exhaling either through the mouth or through the nose, whatever feels good for you. Sometimes a sigh at the beginning of these can feel really good. And continue to take some deep breaths on your own here, and noticing on the inhale the filling up of your whole body, bringing in fresh breath, fresh air, fresh life. And when you're exhaling, just feeling a sense of release, sense of relief, sense of letting go. On your next inhale, inhaling all the way to full capacity. And when you reach the top of the inhale, holding there and feeling anywhere in your body where there's some tension, maybe your face, maybe your shoulders, just noticing where it is. And using the exhale to just soften that area. Let it move out through your breath. And now allowing your breath to come back to an organic state. No need to take an extra deep inhale. No need to focus in on any particular elements of the breath. Rather just just the naturalness of the breath as it is, and just staying with it in your focus. Beginning to notice how thoughts arise and make their way into your mind, and just allowing them to be there, meeting the thoughts with a noticing, with an attention, an awareness, and then a recall back to the breath. Simply noticing and just getting familiar with your inner world that's so unique to you. No one else lives in this world. Surrounded by people in the world, and we're all having an experience that, while it is shared through the sort of web of humanity, our unique experience is personal to us. We want to develop an intimacy with this space, our space. And now I would like you to call into your mind's eye the image and feelings of standing outside in the sun on a perfect summer day. You immediately feel the sun beaming down on your face, pouring a radiant glow of life force into your being. There's a slight breeze that's just enough to keep your body at the perfect temperature that is the most comfortable temperature for you. You can hear a symphony of birds happily chirping in the landscape surrounding you. In this inner landscape, in the sun, you look down at your hands and notice any distinct qualities. Move your hands around a bit and explore them. Maybe notice the color or the fabric of the clothing you may be wearing. And just notice the sensations that arise as you pay attention to your body in this space. You look down at your feet and notice that you are barefoot, standing on a dirt patch, browns and grays of nature's floor beneath you. The dirt is soft, and you wiggle your toes and move the weight of your body around so that you feel different parts of your feet and allow yourself to be fully held by the ground beneath you. Begin to lift your gaze to your surroundings and take a closer notice of where you are. The landscape you find yourself in may be a place you've been before, or simply a new imaginary place that comes naturally to your mind's eye. Your sense of awareness becomes laser sharp as you begin to take note of all of the elements around you. You start broad by looking as far off into the distance as your eyes can see. Noticing the uniqueness of the space. Are you in rolling hills? Are there massive peaks off in the distance? Are there trees immediately around you or far off? Are there any bodies of water near? Just allow your mind to reveal a naturescape that is uniquely yours. There's no right or wrong. There's simply curiosity, imagination, and attention. You look back down at your feet and notice that the patch of dirt that you are standing on is the beginning of a pathway leading you off into the distance. You begin to feel a clear pull to begin walking along the path, and you surrender to the urge, moving your body through space, one step after another. Hearing the crunch of gravel as you walk along the natural dirt path. And as you walk, you keep your senses heightened. Whatever your landscape looks like, you begin to notice that you are heading into an aspen grove. Bright, tall aspen trees surrounding you. You feel comforted by the shade, and you take notice of the details of the white trunks as you pass through. As the breeze continues, you take notice of the rustling of the bright lime green leaves as they rustle around above you. You take a deep breath of air and you take in all of the smells of the dirt and the trees and the sense of summer as they move through the air. The light of the sun sprinkles down in rays through the branches, warming your skin. You take notice of what the trees look like. Take notice of what is around you. Are there plants and flowers around you in the grove? It is quiet as you walk, but also filled with the symphony of nature's song. Birds chirping happily around you, the gentle rustling of the leaves, little critters shuffling and buzzing about. As you walk, you begin to notice a wide array of colorful wildflowers that sparkle up at you. And taking a moment to notice what color the flowers are. What shape are they? What do they look like? And taking in a nice deep breath, noticing that you can smell the perfume of these flowers kissing the air. As you wind through the aspen grove, the trees begin to thin, and you sense that you are approaching an overlook. You see the sun beaming fully down in front of you as you move towards its invitation. As you step fully into the sun and out of the trees, you find yourself at the top of a slight hill amidst rolling hills around you. You find a spot atop this overlook and take in all of the scenery around you. Your awareness is sharp and you feel fully present, as if you have never been this fully present and observant before in your whole existence. Taking a look around and just taking note of what you see in this landscape. What elements are here in your unique world? Are the hills covered with dense trees or with vibrant grasses? Or maybe it's a drier landscape with more browns, grays. Are there larger mountains in the distance, or maybe a body of water far off bending into the horizon? Are there clouds in the sky? If so, what do they look like? Are they big and fluffy, or wide and spread out like a blanket? Just take close notice with maximum curiosity and awe. Is there a smell in the air? Is the air damp or dry? Simply allow the artistic expression of this landscape to completely reveal itself to you. Your attention shifts to a path that leads down from this overlook, down along a trail that leads to an inviting meadow that you can see in the distance below you. You are filled with a knowing that that meadow is calling you towards it, whispering in your ear, pulling your whole being forward like a magnetic knowing. Your bare feet on the earth begin to carry you along this path, down this hill, towards this clearing. As you walk, you take note of anything around you that seems to want to be seen, continuing to notice the sounds and the sensations of this magical feeling landscape. And as you grow nearer to the meadow, you begin to notice a point in the middle of the meadow that has a perfect circle of purple wildflowers that you are drawn to. You make your way to this center point and you lay down on your back in the soft grass, gazing up towards the sky. The moving clouds become the object of your attention as all thoughts and feelings drift away momentarily, and all that exists in your simple witnessing of the fluffy clouds gently swimming their way across the sky. Now you draw your attention to the sun sitting directly above you in the sky. And something feels slightly different about being under the sun's rays in this moment. You can feel the warmth, and the rays are strong, but you are filled with a knowing that there is a protective shield around you, and that you can lay directly in the sun with no worry or concern of your skin becoming red or you becoming too warm, your eyes becoming sensitive, and you simply gaze directly at the glowing orb above you. Just notice its magnificence. Looking directly at the sun, you are filled with emotion, joy. You feel connectivity and gratitude. You feel open to receiving. You feel yourself in the sky as the sun itself. There is a merging, a relating. You close your eyes and you feel the brightness that the sun emits beaming down. You feel strong and radiant. Just take a moment to feel what is arising for you here in this brightness, in this illumination. You direct your focus to a central point in your abdomen where the light seems to be shining from you the brightest. You see the glowing orb of illuminating light swirling in your body's core. As you focus your attention here, the following questions come into your consciousness, and you look to the bright light within you to reveal the answers in whatever ways. It may be a verbal response, maybe a feeling, maybe imagery. Just allow for the questions to be projected into your space of illumination, and simply allow for the space that follows the questions to be organic and free. What lights up my soul? Observing whatever arises when you ask, what lights up my soul? Maybe one strong thing is coming through. Maybe there's a scroll of answers and responses. Let this be uniquely yours. How can I best offer my light to the world? noticing, allowing, staying tuned into the question as you tune into this luminous light within you. How can I best offer my light to the world? Staying tuned into this sunlight beaming from your core as you ask, what does my life look like when I am living my full potential? What does my life look like when I am living my fullest potential? Allow the creativity to be present here. This could be revealing information about any aspect or element of your life. Asking the light within, the sunlight, the glowing rays, what does fullest potential look and feel like for me? As you receive insights surrounding these questions and contemplations of finding and sharing your light, allow the insights to sink into your skin, course through your veins. Taking a moment in this space of the brightest light that lives in your core. The sun is shining down on. Asking any final personal questions or exploring any inquiries here. Allowing there to be no restraints or restrictions on what shows up for you. You begin to shift your focus from the central orb of light within you back up to the sun in the sky above you. You feel the rays coming down from the sun, kissing your skin, filling your pores. And once again, your attention moves to the fluffy white clouds moving through the sky. You let go of any questions or answers floating through your head at this point and just become one with the subtle, destinationless movement of the clouds. Just the bright white drifting along the baby blue. And when you feel ready to sit up, you press yourself up and find yourself safely inside of the ring of purple wildflowers. You notice down by where your feet rested in the grass when you were lying down that there's a shiny little object. You look closer and see that it is a clear yellow crystal that you can see clean through. It feels potent, and you know that it was there just for you to find and keep as a symbol and a reminder of what you explored here in this meadow. You place the crystal in a pocket or pouch, and you begin to make your way back to standing. You feel a sense of completeness as you begin to make your way back along the path that led you here. You walk back up the hill where the overlook was, noticing all the little details you noticed on the way down, but with a new lens, a sense of omniscience, a sense of knowing, a sense of peace. Once at the overlook, you stop and turn and take a final scan of the landscape below, and then head back into the aspen grove along the path that led you here. Again, you are immersed in the safety and comfort of the trees around you. You hear the song of the birds. You feel the subtle movements of the breeze. The wisdom of nature engulfs you, holds you, and guides you along this path. You begin to see the spot where you started this journey, and you move towards it with an excitement of having had a meaningful experience convening with nature in such an intimate and personal way. You know that this connection and this type of experience is available for you in every moment, and that you can return here anytime. You close your eyes and give gratitude to this place and to the experience that you just had walking along the path and in the meadow. Whenever you're ready, bringing your attention back to your present moment here in this room, keeping your eyes closed. Feel yourself sitting in the room, feeling yourself sitting on the ground beneath you, feeling your hands in your lap or on your knees. Bringing your attention back to your breath as it moves gently in and out of your body. Feeling the expansion on the inhale And a sense of letting go on the exhale. Bringing subtle movement to your body in whatever way feels organic and awakening for you. Taking a moment to thank yourself for going inward, for dropping in, for exploring. When you're ready, gently fluttering your eyes open to the floor in front of you and returning fully back to this room, but staying quiet and in your own space. And now, taking just a moment of reflection, so grabbing a pen and paper, and maybe jotting down some thoughts, some insights, anything that felt important or noteworthy for you, or maybe sketching out some images. Whatever feels like a right way for you to reflect and to have any reference point you may desire to the information that you encountered here. Anything that felt relevant, anything that felt helpful. Just take a moment to express yourself. Allowing whatever you choose to jot down or draw or reflect upon in your own way to be as free as you were while you were in the meditation. Uninhibited. There are no walls or boundaries. Just simply allow. Allow your experience to be organic, creative, free, and unique.